Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. A court in the United States has endorsed the decision of a Catholic school not to rehire a staff member who entered into a so-called same-sex marriage. In 2019, Roncalli High School in Indianapolis did not renew the contract of teacher Lynn Starkey after discovering that she had entered into just such a legal arrangement. On Wednesday, August the 11th, a federal judge in the state of Indiana ruled that Ms. Starkey's position as co-director of guidance fell within the legal category of ministerial exception. That is a job where it is reasonable to expect that an employee acts in accordance with the school's religious teachings. Lawyers representing the school and the Archdiocese of Indianapolis welcomed the ruling as a victory for common sense. Meanwhile, bishops in the United States have criticised the administration of President Joe Biden for dropping a lawsuit aimed at protecting freedom of conscience for healthcare workers when it comes to the issue of abortion. On July the 30th, the US Justice Department moved to dismiss its lawsuit against the University of Vermont Medical Center, which had allegedly coerced a nurse into participating in an abortion in 2017. In response, the US Bishops' Conference stated on Thursday that the Justice Department had acted in dereliction of its duty. A joint statement came from Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York, who is the chairman of the conference's Religious Liberty Committee, and Archbishop Joseph Naumann of Kansas City in Kansas, who chairs its pro-life committee. The bishop said that it is hard to imagine a more horrific civil rights violation than being forced to take an innocent human life. A leading bishop in Nigeria says that a reluctance to discuss the most controversial issues afflicting Africa's most populous state is the root cause of many explosive situations within the country. Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka of Sokoto Diocese made his comments in a television interview this week. Bishop Kuka said that those in power in Nigeria should realise that freedom of speech is a human right and that freedom of expression is a God-given right that nobody can take away. He said that a Christian cannot help but become restless in an unjust society. That growing insecurity, he added, has spawned armed groups motivated by self-defence and a nation potentially falling apart. Pope Francis took to Twitter this week to share his hopes upon the United Nations International Youth Day. On Thursday, the Holy Father tweeted that young men and women, through their youthful spirit, can help create a just and equal world, especially for the poor. His Holiness expressed hope that young people can create a world where food, water and medicine reach the most needy first. The United Nations celebrates International Youth Day each year to raise awareness of the challenges facing young people, as well as their potential to help solve those problems. This year's day carried the theme of transforming food systems, youth innovation for human and planetary health. An African cardinal says he forgives the vandals who recently damaged his residence. The home of Cardinal Lynn Ambongo of Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of the Congo was attacked on August the 1st. The attackers pelted stones and sprayed graffiti on the walls of Cardinal Ambongo's house. It's thought that the incident was provoked by the Church's recent criticism of the reorganisation of the country's independent National Electoral Commission. Cardinal Ambongo said that what had happened to him was no different to what Christ himself had endured. The work of God, said the Cardinal, is difficult work. The state of Western Australia has passed a new law prohibiting prayer vigils within 150 metres of abortion clinics. Those who violate the so-called Safe Access Zone law could now face a maximum penalty of $12,000 and 12 months in prison. The legislation also prevents people from sharing footage that could identify a woman who accesses an abortion facility. During the second reading of the bill in Western Australia's State Parliament, the proposed legislation did face some opposition from members of the Liberal Party and the National Party. Liberal Member of Parliament Nick Goiran told the Chamber that he had recently visited a pro-life vigil near an abortion clinic and saw no evidence of heckling or harassing. Instead, he recalled witnessing people offering help with a demeanour, he said, of respect, empathy and humanity. Finally, the people of Bangladesh are mourning the death of an Italian missionary who helped the poorest in the South Asian country gain access to affordable finance. Father Giulio Baruti belonged to the Pontifical Institute of Foreign Missions, also known as PIME. He died on Wednesday, August the 11th, following complications related to COVID-19. He was 77 years old. Ordained in 1970, Father Baruti arrived in the newly independent Bangladesh the following year and went on to establish cooperative credit unions in every parish within the Western Diocese of Dinajpur. The Italian priest's efforts helped both local tribes and the poorest communities across the diocese. May he rest in peace. Well, that's your latest news headlines for now. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also visit us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.